I welcome you all to this second lecture, Introduction to Tihai Concept in Tabla Playing. The topic of today's discussion is Forms in Indian Classical, Semi-Classical Music. So, we have first form in Indian Classical Music, that is Dhrupad. Dhrupad is the oldest surviving form of classical vocal music in India. With a history that dates back to ancient times, it is highly spiritual and austere from the music that evolved in the temples and later found patronage in royal courts. Especially during the Mughal period, Dhrupad is a part of Hindustani classical music and its origins are traced back to the Samveda, the Vedic chants which laid the foundation of Indian classical music. Historical origins. The word Dhrupad is derived from two Sanskrit words, Dhruva, meaning fixed or steadfast, and Pada, meaning verse or composition. This reflects the structured and solemn nature of the music form. Dhrupad was originally a devotional form of music sung in temples, primarily to praise Hindu deities. Over time, it became more sophisticated, and with the patronage of kings like Emperor Akbar, it developed into a courtly art form, where both its religion and artistic aspects were highlighted. Dhrupad singing is characterized by its strict adherence to purity of rag, unadorned beauty, and disciplined presentation. A typical Dhrupad performance consists of two main parts. Alap. Alap is the introductory, unmetered section of Dhrupad performance. It is slow and elaborate, where the singer explores the notes, swaras of the raga in great depth and detail. There are no lyrics in the alap. Instead, the singer uses syllables like a, na, ta, re, nom, tom, etc. to unfold the raga. The syllables are drawn from nom tom, a set of meaningless but musically significant syllables that help explore the nuances of the raga. The alap is divided into three parts: Vilambit alap, Madhya alap, Dhrut alap. This section emphasizes melodic purity, detailed elaboration of the raga, and precise intonation. The compositions of Dhrupad. After the alap, the Dhrupad singer moves on into the composition or bandish, which is set of a rhythmic cycle, that is tal. The most commonly used tal in Dhrupad are Chautal, Sultal, and Tivra, which are respectively 12, 10 and 7 beats. The composition typically follows a 4-part structure. Sthai, the first and the most important section, usually sung in the lower and the middle octave. Antara, the second section, sung in the middle and the higher octave. Sanchari, a bridge section elaborating on the first two parts. And Abhogi, the concluding section, which brings the melody back to its original phrasing. The lyrics of Dhrupad Bandish are usually in Braj language, Sanskrit or Hindi, and the themes revolve around devotion, nature, mythology and heroism. Instruments which are used to accompany Dhrupad are The pakhavaj, which is a barrel-shaped percussion instrument and is the traditional accompanying instrument in Dhrupad performances. Its deep resonant sound matches the gravity of Dhrupad's music and add to the overall solemnity and grandeur of the performance. The tanpura is always present, providing a continuous drone that helps the singer maintain the tonic note. While Dhrupad is primarily vocal, it has also been adopted for instrumental performances, especially on instruments like Rudraveena and Surbahar. Gharanas of Dhrupad has been preserved through a few distinct gharanas or school of music, each with its own styles and interpretation. Dagar Gharana, known for its emphasis on alap, slow progression and deep sonorous voice culture. Betiya Gharana focuses more on bolbaat, improvisation and rhythmic complexity. Darbhanga Gharana, known for its forceful style with focus on rhythmic intricacies and strong gamak. Talwandi Gharana, known for its devotional and deeply traditional approach. Though Dhrupad was overshadowed by the rise of Khayal in 18th and 19th centuries, due to its more structured and improvisational nature, it has experienced a revival in recent decades. Pioneers of this revival include Ustad Zia Muinuddin Dagar, Ustad Zia Fariduddin Dagar and the Gundecha brothers, etc., who have brought Dhrupad to global audience. Today, it is recognized as one of the purest forms of Indian classical music, retaining its meditative devotional essence. Dhrupad is deeply profound, spiritual and disciplined form of Hindustani classical music, representing the ancient roots of Indian classical music. Its emphasis on rag purity, rhythmic complexity and voice control makes it a highly revered and challenging art form. With its root in both devotion and artistic expression, Dhrupad continues to inspire and evoke deep emotional responses from its listeners and practitioners alike. After Dhrupad, we have Khayal. Khayal is a major form of classical music form. It is a vocal form in Hindustani music tradition originating in North India. The word Khayal literally means thought or imagination in Persian, and this form of singing embodies a free, creative and imaginative style of performance. It considered more flexible and expressive compared to the older Dhrupad form of singing, allowing the artist greater freedom to interpret ragas and emotions. Improvisation. It is one of the defining features of Khayal, that the high level of improvisation. The artist can freely elaborate on the raga, experimenting with different combinations of notes, ornaments like gamak, meed and tan, and rhythmic variation. This creative expansion of the raga is known as Vistar or Badat. In Khayal performances, the rag is gradually developed from slow, contemplative phrase in the beginning to faster, more complex renditions. The elaboration of raga is done progressively in different sections of the performances. Structure of Khayal. A typical Khayal performance consists of two main parts, that is Bada Khayal slow tempo. The first section is performed in a slow rhythmic vilambit lay, allowing the artist to explore the rag with more depth and subtlety. The Bada Khayal emphasis on the aesthetic beauty of each note and phrase. Coming to Chota Khayal, which is sung in faster tempo, after the slow elaboration, the performances transitions into a faster tempo, Dhrutlay, with shorter phrases and intricate patterns of notes called tans. The fast sections is more dynamic and energetic. Bandish. Each Khayal performance is based on a bandish, which is a fixed composition set to a specific rag and tal. The bandish serves a skeleton for improvisation and is typically sung multiply with varying ornamentations. The lyrics of the bandish are often short and can be about various themes including love, nature, devotion or historical events. Use of tan and alap. Alap, in the initial part of Khayal, singer introduces the rag in a slow unmetered form called as alap. This helps in setting the mood of the raga. Tan. Later, in both slow and fast tempo, the singer executes complex fast-paced melodic patterns called tans. These are executed with great technical expression, precision and can vary from smoothing gliding patterns to faster detached phrases. Accompaniment. A Khayal performance typically involves accompaniment from tabla and harmonium or sarangi as a melodic instrument. The tabla player maintains the rhythmic cycle tal, while the harmonium or sarangi supports the melody. Tanpura is also used, providing a continuous drone that helps in tuning and maintaining the tonal center. Gharanas. Khayal is not homogeneous and has evolved into different stylistic schools or gharanas, each with its own distinct approach to raga presentation, rhythmic treatment and ornamentation. Some well-known Khayal gharanas include Gwalior Gharana, focuses on simplicity and clarity of rendition with an emphasis on the bandish. Kirana Gharana, known for slow, meditative singing and intricate of use of microtones. Patiala Gharana, famous for its powerful tans and virtuosity. Agra Gharana merges elements of Dhrupad with Khayal, focusing on Boltan, and many more gharanas we have. Themes of Khayal. The lyrics of Khayal are usually short, often in language like Hindi, Braj or Urdu, and the themes can revolve around love, devotion, longing, nature, seasons or mythological stories. However, the focus in Khayal is more on the music and melody rather than the work. Khayal in modern times remains a central pillar of Hindustani classical music and continues to evolve. Contemporary Khayal singers balance traditional elements with innovation and improvisation, keeping the art form dynamic. Renowned Khayal vocalists such as Bhimsen Joshi, Bade Gulam Ali Khan, Kishori Amankar and Pandit Jasraj etc. have popularized this form worldwide, contributing to its rich and ever-evolving legacy. Khayal is a highly expressive, improvisational and complex form of Hindustani classical music, providing a wide scope for creativity and emotional depth. The ability to maintain essence of the raga while exploring its different moods and intricacies is what makes Khayal a sophisticated and revered style of singing. In the sequence of these, we have semi-classical form which is known as Thumri. Thumri is a semi-classical vocal genre of Indian music, often associated with romantic, devotional and emotional expression. It is known for its delicate, expressive and lyrical nature. Thumri has roots in the Awadh region of North India, particularly in cities like Lucknow and Varanasi. Its themes are often centered around love, separation and devotion, with a strong connection to Lord Krishna's romance with Radha. Now we will see the various aspects of Thumri. Historical background. Thumri evolved during the late 18th and early 19th century, particularly under the patronage of the Nawabs of Awadh, notably Nawab Wajid Ali Shah, the last Nawab of Lucknow. His court was a cultural hub for classical music, dance and poetry. Thumri became popular in the environment, flourishing in both courts and temple. Its musical structure. Thumri is based on light classical rag and is more flexible in its rendition compared to more rigid classical forms like Khayal or Dhrupad. The focus is not on intricate musical elaborations but on the emotive power and storytelling aspect of the song. Thumri is often performed in ragas like Khamaj, Desh, Bhairavi, Kafi and Pilu. Common rhythmic cycles used in Thumri are Dadra, Kaharwa and some tals which consist of 16 matras. Though the rhythmic is often flexible to allow the emotional expression. Bol Banao and Bol Baat, these are variations within Thumri. Bol Banao emphasizes on emotional development of the lyrics, while Bol Baat focuses more on rhythm and syllabic division. Themes of Thumri. Thumri is highly expressive and its lyrical often focuses on Shringaras. The majority of Thumris are about the love between Radha and Krishna, full of longing and devotion. Many describe the pain of separation, viraha, and the joy of union, milan. Some Thumris also have devotional themes, especially around Krishna, but the emotional tone remains tender and romantic. Playfulness and humor. Thumris may be sung depicting scenes of Krishna's pranks or light-hearted moments. Styles of Thumri. There are two major styles of Thumris. Purabang, this is the style popular in Varanasi and Lucknow region. It emphasizes emotion and expressiveness with slower tempo and more emphasis on the purity. Poetry. Punjabi Ang, developed later. This style is faster and includes more intricate rhythmic play. It is closer to the classical style of Khayal in terms of musical elaborations. There are two major styles of Thumri. Purab Ang, this is the style popular in the Varanasi and the Lucknow regions. It emphasizes emotions and expressiveness with slower tempo and more emphasis on the poetry. Punjabi style, developed later, this style is faster and includes more intricate rhythmic play. It is closer to the classical style of Khayal in terms of musical elaboration. Instruments which are usually used with thumri accompaniment are tabla, harmonium and sarangi. These instruments accompany the vocal and provide a continuous melodic backdrop. Tabla provides the rhythmic bass in thumri. The tabla player often follows the vocalist emotional phrasing rather than maintaining strict time, allowing for expressive flexibility. Tanpura provides a drone maintaining the tonic and the overall musical atmosphere. Some notable exponents of thumri include Begum Akhtar, known as the Queen of Ghazals. Begum Akhtar was also a celebrated thumri singer who brought emotional depth to her performances. Girija Devi, a legendary singer from Banaras Gharana, Girija Devi was known for her powerful and emotive thumri renditions. Shobha Gurtu, another renowned thumri artist known for blending classical precision with the emotional essence of the genre. Thumri in dance. Thumri is also used as a musical form in Kathak, a classical dance style that originated in North India. The expressiveness of thumri matches the abhinaya aspect of Kathak, allowing dancers to portray the emotions of the lyrical through their movements. Thumri today. Though thumri is rooted in traditional form, it continues to be performed and appreciated by the modern audiences. Contemporary singers bring their own interpretations and fusion with other musical forms is also emerging. Overall, thumri is a captivating blend of classical music and poetic emotion resonating with themes of love, longing and devotion. Its flexibility and emotional depth make it a cherished form in Indian semi-classical music. Then we move to Tappa. Tappa is a distinctive and highly rhythmic form of North Indian classical music, known for its fast-paced, intricate and highly expressive vocal delivery. Originating in the Punjab region, it was popularized during 18th century by Shauri Mian, a court musician of Nawab Asaf-ud-Daula of Awadh. Origin and history of Tappa. Tappa origin lies in the folk music of camel riders from the Punjab. The style was adopted and refined into a classical form by Shauri Mian, who incorporated it into Hindustani classical tradition. Initially sung by camel drivers to keep themselves entertained during long journeys, Tappa was brought into the courts and modified into a more structured classical genre. Musical characters. Tappa compositions are usually written in Punjab or Braj language and often express themes of love and separation. One of Tappa's defining feature is its complex rhythm with rapid intricate note patterns and swift transitions between phrases, making it highly challenging to perform. Tappa is known for the frequent use of gamak and murki, which give it a lively and dynamic feel. The compositions tend to have short and repetitive text lines, which the singer renders with great speed, often playing with rhythm. Singing style. Tappa requires immense breath control due to fast and sustained delivery of notes without much pause. Singers often use boltans, a technique in which syllables of the lyrics are used in place of swaras, creating a rhythmic variation in the singing. Tappa is highly emotive, and its energy lies in the playful and expressive manner in which the singer navigates the song's complexities. Contemporary relevance. While Tappa is not as commonly performed as Khayal or Dhrupad, it remains an important genre of classical vocalists to showcase their skill, particularly in terms of rhythmic prose and agility. Tappa, with its lively and intricate vocal pattern, continue to be appreciated for its rhythmic energy and its challenge to the performance vocal technique. Then we have Tarana. Tarana is a unique form where the lyrics are mostly made up of meaningless syllables like tanana, derena, etc. that allow the vocalist to focus on rhythmic and melodic feature rather than content of the work. It usually Tarana is a unique form of vocal where the lyrics are mostly made up of meaningless syllables like tanana, dere, na, etc. that allows the vocalist to focus on rhythm and melody rather than the content of the words. It is usually sung at a fast tempo. Chaiti is a form of semi-classical music associated with North India, the month of Chaitra, making the advent of spring. The themes are often devotional and romantic, revolving around Lord Rama, nature, and the pangs of separation during the season. The lyrics are usually in dialects like Bhojpuri or Awadhi and contains a refrain of Ho Rama, emphasizing the devotional aspect. Chaiti is typically sung in light ragas such as Kafi, Pilu or Bhairavi, giving it a lightning, sweet mood. The rhythmic structure is often in Deepchandi or Kehrba with a medium to slow tempo along with the singer to express the emotion in the lyrics. Chaiti conveys feeling of longing, devotion and the beauty of nature in the spring. Then we have Kajri. Kajri is typically associated with the monsoon season, often expressing the emotions of women longing for their beloved who is far away. The imagery often includes rain, clouds and the pain of separation. Sung in Bhojpuri or Awadhi, Kajri often uses metaphors, form of nature to describe the monsoon and the heartache of the separation. It is usually rendered in ragas like Kafi, Desh, Pilu, which matches the melodic and emotional mood of monsoon season. It is often performed in Kehrwa or Dadra Tal, creating a lighter, more folk-like rhythm. Kajri is deeply expressive of longing and paining, making it an evocative form of folk-inspired music. Hori, it is sung during the festival of Holi and is celebratory in nature. It describes the playful exchanges between Lord Krishna and Radha and often includes theme of teasing, love and celebration. The lyrics are lively and playful, often in Braj or Avadhi language, describing the playful mischief of Holi. Themes include color throwing, flirtation, and the divine love of Krishna and Radha. Holi is often rendered in ragas like Kafi Desh, which capture the festive spirit and liveliness of the Holi celebration. It is usually sung in Dadra, Keherwa, or Teen Tal, providing a light dance-like rhythm. Holi is joyful and playful, meant to convey the excitement and vibrancy of the festival of Holi. Then you have Dadra. Dadra is a light classical form that is similar to Thumri but is generally set to a specific tal called Dadra, form which is derived in nature. It is lighter in tone with simpler lyrics compared to more classical forms like Khayal or Thumri. The theme of Dadra are usually romantic, devotional, often expressing love, separation, longing and joy. It is softer and more personal in tone compared to the more dynamic forms of music. Dadra is usually sung in ragas like Bhairavi, Kafi and Pilu, which are flexible and allow for emotive expression. As the name suggests, Dadra, it is usually set to Dadra Tal, but it may also use Kaherwa Tal with a slow tempo medium. Dadra is a light-hearted and often sensuous or romantic in tone, allowing for emotional elaborations without the rigidity of classical forms. Next, we have forms in Carnatic classical music, that is South Indian tradition. Kriti. The Kriti is most popular and elaborative form in Carnatic music. It is a composed song set to a specific rag and tal, and it forms the backbone of Carnatic recitals. Kritis often have devotional lyrics and are divided into three parts: Pallavi opening section, Anupallavi middle section and Charnam concluding section. Famous composers Tyagaraja, Muthuswami Dikshitar and Shyama Shastri are known as the trinity of Carnatic music, and they compose numerous timeless kritis. Next is Varnam. Varnam is a foundational form in Carnatic music, often used as a warm-up piece. It serves as a comprehensive demonstration of the raga and incorporates both melodic and rhythmic aspects. There are two main types: Tanavarnam, melodic emphasis, and Padavarnam, lyrical emphasis. Structure is typically having two sections, Pallavi and Anupallavi, followed by several Charnams. Ragam Tanam Pallavi. This is an expansive improvisational form allowing the artist to showcase their deep understanding of rag. It starts with a ragam, melodic improvisation, followed by tanam, a rhythmic improvisation without percussion, and culminates in pallavi, where the composition is set to a specific tal. The Ragam Tanav Pallavi section of a concert allows a great creative freedom and is often considered the highlight of performance. Padam and Javali. Padam and Javali are lyrical compositions often dealing with themes of love. Padams are slow and more devotional, while Javalis are faster and more expressive, focusing on the human aspects of love, often with light-hearted and flirtatious tone. Tillana. The Tillana is a fast-paced rhythmic composition usually performed at the end of a concert. It is similar to Tarana in Hindustani music and features syllables rather than meaningful lyrics. It is typically having a brief lyrical section, but the focus is on the rhythmic pattern. Last we have Geetam. Geetam is a form, it is one of the simplest form in Carnatic music taught to the beginners. It has a simple structure and usually composed in a single raga without complex variation. So this is how we have learned or discussed about forms in Indian classical music, which is Hindustani and Carnatic, also the semi-classical forms like Thumri, Dadra, Tappa, Kajri, Hori. Semi-classical forms are also important vocal forms while the performances, and Dhrupad, Khayal, these are the main forms typically sung during the concerts. Carnatic forms like Kriti, Varnam, Ragam, Tanam, Pallavi, Padam and Javli, Tillana and Geetam are performed during the Carnatic vocal recitals. So I hope you have understood these concepts and forms of vocal music. Thank you.